to have Venerable Sayadaw Kumārābhivaṃsa to continue teaching us on the Buddha's last days, Mahāparinibbāna Sutta. We're also very honored to have POG Singapore to co-host the series. The teaching is scheduled for 1.5 hours, including Q&A. Today is part 23. Before teaching starts, we have a few housekeeping notes. We have the simultaneous interpretation Zoom functionality for today's teaching. First, let's go over the channel selection and take a minute to select your preferred channel. If you see a globe icon on your Zoom screen, that is the interpretation icon. Please choose either English or Chinese according to your preference. Please do not stay at off or original channel if you would like to listen to English interpretation. If you use a cell phone or mobile device, please select your channels and be sure to click Done to complete the selection. Please select your preferred interpretation language channel now. If you have any questions, please send it to our Zoom's chat room. Thank you for your cooperation. May we invite Sayadaw and interpreter Pandey to start the teachings, please? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Taking refuges, repeat after me to take the 5 precepts. Aham Bande.
Aham Bande.
Tisaranena Saha.
Tisaranena Saha.
Pancha Silan.
Pancha Silan.
Mayachami.
Dhamayachami.
Anugahangatwa.
Anugahangatwa.
Andita.
Silam Deta.
Me Bande.
Me Bande.
Diyambi.
Dudiyambi.
Bande.
Aham Bande.
Saranena Saha.
Tisaranena Saha.
Pancha Silan.
Pancha Silam.
Mayachami.
Dhammam Yachami.
Anugahangatwa.
Anugahangatwa.
Andita.
Silam Deta.
Me Bande.
Me Bande.
Adiyambi.
Tadiyambi.
Bande.
Aham Bande.
Saranena Saha.
Tisaranena Saha.
Pancha Silam.
Pancha Silam.
Mayachami.
Dhammayachami.
Anugahangatwa.
Anugaham Gatwa.
Andita.
Silam Deta.
Me Bande.
Me Bande.
Yamahavadami Damvadita.
Ama Bande.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammasambuddhassa.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dhammam saranam gacchāmi, Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Sangham saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchāmi, Tadiyampi Sangam Saranang Gacchami.
Tisarana Gamana Pripona
Ma Pande
Panati Pada Viramani Sekha Vadan Samadhiyami
Panadi Pata Veramani Sikhapadam Samadhiyami.
Adena Dana Viramani Sekha Vadan Samadhiyami
Adina Dana Veramani Sikhapadam Samadhiyami.
Kamesu Mechajara Viramani Sekha Vadan Samadhiyami
Kamesu Michachara Veramani Sikhapadam Samadhiyami.
Muzawada Viramani Sekha Vadan Samadhiyami
Musavada Veramani Sikhapadam Samadhiyami.
Sura Miraya Meja Pamada Thana Viramani Sekha Vadan Samadhiyami
Sura Meraya Maja Pamadatana Veramani Sikhapadam Samadhiyami.
Idame Ponyan Asawa Kaya Vahan Hodu
Idame Bunyang Asawa Kaya Vaha Hodu.
Idame Silan Nibbanasa Pichayo Hodu
Idame Silam Nibanasa Pachayo Hodu.
Isarane Nasaha Panja Silan Dhaman Zadugan Katawa Apamade Nasamba Deta
Ma Pande Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu.
We will start our Dhamma discussion by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Mahāparinibbāna Sutta, the Buddha's last days, part 23 today. Today, Parinibbāna Katha. After giving the Buddha's last advice last order to the Buddha's disciples, Bhikkhu Sangha. Handa Dani Bhikkhu Amantyami Wo Ya Dhamma Sankhara Apamadena Sambadita. Apamadena Sambadita. Oh, is it just you? I will give you my last admonitions. Strive with diligence and mindfulness to complete your text. The Buddha gave his last order to his disciple. After giving the last order, last time you also chanted this order together. And that Dani Bhikkhu Amantyami Wo Vaya Dhamma Sankhara Apamadena Sambadita. Then if you cannot try to memorize all Tipitaka, then memorize these sentences. Then according to the Buddha's order, last order, if you follow, if you fulfill Sila Samadhi Pinya or practice Sila Samadhi Pinya, Novel Eightfold Path, then you are practicing all the Buddha's teaching, all Tipitakas. All Tipitaka are here in this sentence. After giving his last order, then the Buddha prepares to attain his final Parinibbāna. His final Parinibbāna, how he prepared, how the Buddha prepares to take his final Parinibbāna. Atthako Bhagava Prathaman Jhana Samapajji. The Buddha entered into the first jhana. Prathama jhana odai dwa dutiya jhana samapajji. coming out from the first jhana, the Buddha continued to enter into the second jhana. In the same way, Dutiya jhana Udaitva Tatiya jhana Samapiji. Imagine from the second jhana, the Buddha continued to enter into the third jhana the same way. Imagine from the third jhana, enter into the fourth jhana, Chatotha jhana. After that, what? Akasaninsayana jhana, Vinyaninchayana jhana, Akinchinyayana jhana, and Nivasinyana jhana. Imagine from Nivasinyana jhana, then the Buddha entered into Sinya Vedita Nirodha. Sinya Vedita Nirodha means the Buddha entered into Nirodha Samapatti, the attainment of the cessation. The attainment of the cessation. The Buddha entered into this attainment of the cessation. When the Buddha was entering into Nirodha Samapatti, the attainment of the cessation, you know, it may be a little bit longer than the other jhana. The Buddha keep quiet without breathing. Then Venerable Ananda thought the Buddha already took his final Parinibbāna. That is why the Buddha asked Venerable Anuruddha, Parinibbuddha Bhante Anuruddha Bhagava, Bhante Anuruddha, oh, you see here, Parinibbuddha Bhante Anuruddha Bhagava. Here, Venerable Ananda used Bhante. Bhante, the me, Anuruddha is the senior to Venerable Ananda. That is why after the Buddha's last order, then he immediately used Bhante instead of also. Is it? Here, Bhante Anuruddha. Bhante Anuruddha, the Buddha took final Parinibbāna or not. Oh. Then Navuso Ananda Bhagava Parinibbāna, Venerable Anuruddha answers. Venerable Anuruddha answer, Avuso, Navuso, you know. Then he is a junior. The Venerable Ananda, Anuruddha is a senior to Venerable Ananda. That is why he called Avuso. Avuso Ananda, the Buddha hasn't taken, not yet taken final Parinibbāna yet. Or not yet taken final Parinibbāna. Then Sinya Vedita Nirodha Samappanno, the Buddha is entering into Nirodha Samapatti, the attainment of cessation. Venerable Anuruddha answers to Venerable Ananda. By calling, you see, Bhante and Avuso. Then here, commentary explain. Then when actually Venerable Ananda was only Sotabana during this time. He also don't have the very power abhiññāna, psychic powers, etc. That is why he does not know what the Buddha is doing. But Venerable Anuruddha, the time he was Arahanta, also he have abhiññāna, especially the Daivacakkhu abhiññāna. Is it? When the Buddha was entering into the jhana, step by step, one by one, up to Nivasinyana jhana, beginning from the first jhana, then he also followed the Buddha's way. He was also entering into the first jhana. Imagine from the first jhana, he also entered into the second jhana. In this way, one by one, up to Nivasinyana jhana stage. When the Buddha entered into Nirodha Samapatti after Nivasinyana jhana, then Venerable Anuruddha stopped without entering into Nirodha Samapatti. But Venerable Ananda knew. That is why Okay, the Buddha is entering into the first jhana, the Buddha is entering into the second jhana in this way. Then finally, the Buddha entered into the Nirodha Samapatti, then he stopped entering into the Nirodha Samapatti. That is why he understands. When Venerable Ananda asked the Anuruddha, then Venerable Anuruddha could answer Venerable Ananda's question in this way. Is it? Yeah. During the entering into Nirodha Samapatti, the cessation, the attainment of the cessation, nobody can die. That is why the Buddha also may not be able to die, will not be able to die during the Nirodha Samapatti. That is why Venerable Anuruddha answer, the Buddha is still entering into Nirodha Samapatti. He hasn't taken his final Parinibbāna yet. Or he answers to Venerable Ananda. Then the Buddha emerged from Nirodha Samapatti, the attainment of cessation. After that, the Buddha enter into the Nivasanya Nasayana Jhana again. Or Nivasanya Nasayana Jhana. Then emergent from Nivasanya Nasayana Jhana. Then the Buddha entered into Akinchana Jhana. Emergent from Akinchana Jhana, the Buddha entered into Vijñānīñcayana Jhana. Then Ākāsānīñcayana Jhana. Then the Chatudha Jhana, Tatiya Jhana, Dutiya Jhana, and the first Jhana, Pathama Jhana again. At that time, Venerable Anuruddha also followed the Buddha's way. He entered into Nivasana Nasayana Jhana to the first jhana according to the Buddha's way. This one is the reverse order, no? Reverse order. Then forward, reverse order, no? Reverse order. The Buddha enter into the jhana beginning from highest jhana up to the lowest jhana. Venerable Anuruddha also the same way. Then the Buddha entered into the first jhana again. Emerging from the first jhana, the Buddha entered into the second jhana again. Then the third jhana. Emerging from the third jhana, then the Buddha entered into the fourth jhana. Emerging from the fourth jhana, then the Buddha took his final Parinibbāna. The Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna. This is the uses of the Buddha. For normal people, then the Buddha passed away after emerging from the fourth jhana. Is it? And this is the normal uses for the normal persons. For the Buddha, Parinibbāna, the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna after emerging from the fourth jhana. Then here the Atthakatha commentary explained. Actually, here the Pali said the Buddha entered into the first jhana, emerging from the first jhana, and then into the second jhana in this way only. The commentary explains, the Buddha entered into all the first jhana based on 10 asubha. Not only 10 asubha, also 32 parts of the body. 10 asubha, when the Buddha paid attention the corpse, 10 different types of corpse, as repulsiveness, the Buddha could enter into the first jhana. Venerable Anuruddha also the same way. Then 32 parts of the body, pay attention, then as repulsiveness, then they got the Buddha could enter into the first jhana. In this way, 10 kasina or 9 kasina, sorry, according to our teachings here, maybe 10 kasina. Here, text says 9 kasina, including Akasa kasina. Also enter into the first jhana, then Metta, Karuna, Mudita, enter into the first jhana, Anapana, the first jhana. Or in this way, altogether 24 places. The Buddha entered into the first jhana and 24 meditation subjects, taken 24 meditation objects. Then for Dutiya jhana, for the second jhana, altogether 13. Tatiya jhana, the third jhana also the same way. Taking the asubha corpse or the 32 parts of the body object, nobody can attain the second jhana or higher jhana. Only they can attain the first jhana. They can attain only the first jhana. That is why it mentioned in this way. But some meditation subjects can attain up to the second or third jhana. Then the Buddha also entered into the second jhana and third jhana, taking those meditation objects. For the fourth jhana, eight kasina or 10 kasina here. 8 kasina means Batui Abo Dejo Wayo, Nila Pita Loida order up to 8 kasina. Then taking those kasina objects, the Buddha entered into the fourth jhana. In the same way, Ubekha Brahmavihara. Ubekha Brahmavihara, the sublime abiding and tranquilities. Ubekha. Then go enter into the fourth jhana only. Then Anapana also up to fourth jhana state. Then Padechero Kasa Akasa Kasina. Akasa Kasina. Then Arupa jhana. Here, Arupa jhana also refers to the fourth jhana here. In this way, the Buddha entered into 4 jhanas and 15 subjects of meditation. In this way, the Buddha entered into many jhana and taken many meditation objects. In this way, mentioned. Then the Buddha entered into the first jhana is not only in kasina, also anapana, also asubha, also metta, karuna, mudita in this way. Is it? Respectively. The Buddha entered into many jhana and many meditation objects in this way. Then Venerable Anuruddha also entered into those jhana in the same way. But imagine, enter into the first jhana, imagine from the first jhana, the Buddha also contemplate those jhana, nama, dhamma as anicca, dukkha, anatta. The second jhana also the same way, third jhana also the same way, not only in samatha, also vipassana. In this way, because of this reason, the Buddha entered into Nirodha Samapatti. Without contemplating vipassana, nobody can reach to the Nirodha Samapatti, the attainment or the cessation. That is why, imagine from jhana, they also need to contemplate those sankhara dhamma, those jhana dhamma in those jhana. At that time, they can enter into the Nirodha Samapatti at the end of Nivasanya, Nasyana jhana, that mentions. Then, the Buddha entered into 4 jhana state, beginning from the first jhana again. Imagine from the fourth jhana, the Buddha took his final Parinibbāna, the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna. Is it? Then what will happen? What will happen means the commentary explains 2 ways. Jhana Samanandra and Pachavakkhana Samanandra. No, Jhana Samanandra and Pachavakkhana Samanandra. Jhana Samanandra means, imagine from the fourth jhana, the bhavanga arises. Then the Buddha took his final Parinibbāna with the, bhavanga citta. Bhavanga citta means if we can, Juti, when the Buddha took his final Parinibbāna, this bhavanga citta is called Juti citta in this way. Is it? But one thing is okay. All Buddha or Pachika Buddha, noble persons or ordinary person, even the animals, they pass away with the Bhavanga Chaita. But here, after taking or after emergence from the fourth jhana, what will happen? Bhavanga Chaita arise. When they pass away with the Bhavanga Chaita, then this is called Jhana Samanandra. Another one is the Pichavakana Samanandra. They enter into the jhana, emergence from jhana, they also reflect on the jhana factors. After reflecting on the jhana factors, then Bhavanga Chaita arise, then they pass away with the Bhavanga Chaita, or there will be Pichavakana Samanandra. There are two kinds of death moments, two kinds of death, two kinds of passing away. Or the Buddha took the last way, Pichavakana Samanandra. The Buddha entered into the fourth jhana, emergence from the fourth jhana, then what will happen? The Buddha reflect on the jhana factors. The Buddha reflect on the jhana factor. After reflecting on the jhana factor, then Bhavanga Chaita arise. Then the Buddha taught his final Parinibbāna with the Bhavanga Chaita. Oh, the Buddha's way is a Pichavakana Samanandra. Oh, this is explained. This is the explanations and commentary. This is the explanations and commentary. Okay. Okay. In this way, the Buddha took his final Parinibbāna. Okay. Then you understand. Then when the sincere door arrived at the Kusinara, near the Buddha's Parinibbāna statue, they also recite this Pali paragraphs, Atako Bhagava Pataman Jana Samabeji, Parame Jana Ode Dua Dudian Jana Samabeji, Dudia Jana Ode Dua Tatian Jana Samabeji, or in this way up to the end of this paragraph. As soon as they also puja the Buddha by reciting those sentences in Mahāparinibbāna Sutta. The Buddha took his final Parinibbāna in this way in Kusinara. Okay? As soon as the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna, then very great earthquake appear immediately. Is it? Also, the Deva instrument also appear immediately. Instrumental, instrumental appear. Then what happened? As soon as the Buddha took his final Parinibbāna, the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna, then Sahambati Brahma Sahambati also, Sahambati also spoke one stanza. Sabewa neki paisandi Buddha loge samosayan yatha eda diso satha loge abati bogalo tathagato balabado sambuddho parinibbūto. Oh. Then when the Blessed One had passed away simultaneously with his Parinibbāna, Brahma Sahambati spoke this stanza. Oh, yeah. Then the translation is a little bit difficult, is it, to understand. The Buddha, the Buddha is an incomparable person, incomparable persons in the world. There's no one who can compare with the Buddha. Even he also passed away. Then everybody in the world will pass away. Oh, then the Sahambati Brahma spoke this stanza. Samvega Gatha, Samvega stanza. Stanzas regarding Samvega, the sense of urgencies. Then in the same way, as soon as the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna, The second, the king of Deva also spoke one stanza. What is the stanza? Anejawada Sankhara Upadhavaya Dhammino Obejaytawa Nirojandi Desan Upa Samosukho. Oh, this one, in Myanmar also, we went to the cemeteries for the funeral. If one person passed away, they also invite this many bhikkhus to their, the funeral. Then many bhikkhus also recite this stanza. Many bhikkhus also chant this stanzas. This is the last stanzas for funeral. Then what is the meaning? Here you can see both English and Chinese. Anicca vada sankhara upadhavaya dhammino. Anicca vada sankhara. All formations are, conditionless formations are impermanent. Upadhavaya dhammino, they have the nature of arising and vanishing. Obejaytawa nirojandi, after arising, they perish, they cease. Tesa upasamotukho, because of this reason, the complete cessation of the formation, peace of Nibbana, they may refer to Nibbana. Then Nibbana is peaceful. Nibbana, Tesa upasamotukho, the peace where there's no conditionless formation is peaceful. The second, the king of Deva also spoke this stanza after the Buddha's final Parinibbāna. Then another one, the same way, as soon as the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna, Venerable Anuruddha also spoke one stanza. Nahu asasa pasaso tita jaitasa dadino anejo santi marabha yankala magarimuni asan line na chaitena virana eja wasayi pejoda sewa nibbana vimokho jetaso ahu. You can see here no movement of the breath, but with the steadfast heart, free from desires and tranquil. So the sage comes to his end. By moral pens, unshaken his mind, like a flame extinguished, fine released. Okay, this is his the stanza's explanation. Then the Buddha stopped his breathing. The Buddha mind is unshakable. Anejo santi marabha, the Buddha don't have the craving. Then the Buddha asanlinina chaitena, the Buddha don't have any attachment. The Buddha mind has no attachment to anything. Virana eja wasi, the Buddha was patient with the very strong painful feelings. Pejoda sewa nibbana vimokho jetaso ahu. The Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna, taking Nibbana as objects, like the release of the flame of the fire, or like this. This is the meaning of this stanza, briefly, is it? In the same way, as soon as the Buddha took his final Parinibbāna, Venerable Ananda also spoke one stanza. Tadasi yan bhinsana kan tadasi loma hansana savagara urupete sambodhe Parinibbute. What is this one? There was a terrace and the hair stood up when the oft-accomplished one, the Buddha passed away. This is the direct translations from this stanza. The Buddha, that means the Buddha is the superiorest one in the world. The Buddha is enlightened one in the world. Then the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna. Then as soon as he took the final Parinibbāna, the strong and frightened awkward appear. Oh, something like this. Is it? This is the meaning of this stanza. Okay, what will happen as soon as the Buddha took his final Parinibbāna? Many bhikkhu nearby the Buddha also understood. Then those who still have attachment and dosa, then they also crying out a lot. Oh, the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna quickly. Oh. Then, Chekhu, Loge, Andrahito, the wisdom eye disappear from the wall quickly. They also crying out by saying those kinds of words. But those who have already destroyed all defilements refer to Anagami and Arahanta, or they were not crying out, although the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna. But they feel the sense of urgency by reciting one sentence. Anicca Sankhara Tankuteta Lava. All formations are impermanent. Nobody can wish the formations to exist forever. They also feel the sense of urgency by reciting these sentences. Then what will happen? Then the Buddha also encouraged the other bhikkhu who still have defilements not to cry and Sabi Sankara Anicca Tankuteta Lava. The Buddha already taught to you all conditional formations are impermanent. They will vanish. They will perish after arising, or by saying in this way. The Buddha, Venerable Anuruddha also encouraged to the other bhikkhu. Then Venerable Ananda also asked the Venerable Anuruddha how the Deva are happening. How Deva are happening when the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna. Then Venerable Anuruddha also answered the same way. Those who still have defilement, they are crying out in the sky or in the ground, something like this. They are also reciting the same sentence. The same sentence, the Buddha attained his final Parinibbāna quickly, the Western eye disappear from the wall quickly, etc. Is it? Then after that, then it became doom times. Then Venerable Anuruddha asked Venerable Anandas to go to the cities to inform the king of the Manla king, Kusinara, Manla kings. Then according to Venerable Anuruddha's instruction, Venerable Ananda also entered into the cities and informed the Manla king. Actually, the king of the Manla are also gathering in one assembly halls for the Buddha's funeral, the Buddha's body's funeral. Is it? Then as soon as they heard the Buddha's taking final Parinibbāna, then they also crying out a lot in this way. Then they also came to the Sala group, Sala gardens. When they received the informations from the Venerable Ananda, then what will happen? They also puja the Buddha's dead body. They also puja the Buddha's dead body with the flower, fragrance, etc. Also, they also prepare to puja, to honor the Buddha's dead body with the, instruments, with the, how do you call, by singing Samvega, stanza, etc. And also they also manage a kind of the dances to puja the Buddha's dead body in this way, is it? Then in this way, they puja the Buddha's dead body with many things like flower, fragrance, and also the singing and dancing, etc. for 7 days. 7 days. After 7 days puja, then what will happen? They took the Buddha's dead body from this place, taking the Buddha's dead body from the southern directions of the Kusinara city. Okay, they were burn the Buddha's dead body. With the intention, they lift the Buddha's dead body. Then, although they trying to lift the Buddha's dead body with many strong men, but they cannot lift the Buddha's dead body. Then, at that times, then they also asked the Venerable Anuruddha, Bhante, we cannot lift the Buddha's dead bodies to do the funeral. Then what is the reason? Then Venerable Anuruddha answers. Venerable Anuruddha answers, then Deva does not allow you to lift the Buddha's dead body. Why? Their desire, their wishes is different from your wishes. Then they also ask what is the Deva's wishes, what they want to do. Then when they ask this one, then the Buddha, Venerable Anuruddha also answer, Deva desire. They want to carry the Buddha's dead body to the cities from the door of the eastern directions. Then passing the city, there's also one Chetiya named Makuta Bandhana, taken from, Uttarina Dwarina, then they want the Buddha bodies to carry from the north directions. Then pass the cities around the rope. Then take the Buddha body out from the city from the eastern directions, the door of the eastern. Then carry the bodies to the Makuta Bandhana Chetiya. Then prepare the place to burn the Buddha's body near the Chetiya, or this is the Deva's wishes. Then Venerable Anuruddha also explains to the Malakin. Then according to Deva's wishes, okay, then the Malakin also manage the Buddha body to burn in this way. Because of this reason, then they can carry the Buddha's body. They can move the Buddha's body from the original place, according to Deva's wishes. Then here you see the Venerable Anuruddha is very powerful. No? In this case, the king also need to discuss with the Buddha, Venerable Anuruddhas for the Buddha's funeral. Then what will happen? According to the Deva's wish, they carry the Buddha's bodies to the Makuta Bandhana Jitiya. Then they also wrap the Buddha's body with the new clothes for 1,000 times in this way, like the Chakravarti's body. Chakravarti's body. Then they also put the wines to burn the Buddha's body. Then after preparing, after burning the Buddha's body, they will make the Buddha's body, the Buddha's relics to build as the stupa at the junction areas. Then when they pay respect to the Buddha's Jitiya, the Buddha's relics stupa, because of their Saddha, because of their Kusala, then after passing away, what will happen? Or they can be reborn in Deva realms because of this Kusala. Then with this intention, they try to burn the Buddha's body with the fire. At that time, what will happen? Although they're trying to burn the Buddha's body with the fire, then they couldn't burn the Buddha's body. Why? Deva didn't allow them to burn the Buddha's body. Then at that time, although they're trying to burn the Buddha's body with the fire, they couldn't burn. Then they also don't know the reason. That is why they also ask Venerable Anuruddha the reason. Then Venerable Anuruddha also answer, Deva don't allow, the Devas don't allow you to burn the Buddha's body before reaching Venerable Mahākassapa. You know, Venerable Mahākassapa Venerable Mahākassapa and his disciple are still coming to the Kusinara to pay homage to the Buddha, but they haven't reached, they haven't arrived at the Kusinara yet. That is why Deva are waiting Venerable Kassapa. They don't allow the king of Malas to burn the Buddha's body. Then what will happen? Will be Venerable Kassapa's Thera's story, is it? At that time, I explain only briefly, no? Then at that time, Venerable Kassapa and his 500 disciples were coming to the Kusinara from Pawa city. Then on the way to Pawa city from on the way to Kusinara from Pawa city, then Venerable Mahākassapa and 500 bhikkhu stopped in one place under the tree near the rope. At that time, already 7 days of the Buddha's final Parinibbāna. When they are resting under the tree, then what will happen? One Ajivaka, you know, Ajivaka means one accepted from, one monk from other religions, came from the Kusinara, taking a kind of flower. This one is a mandara flowers. This one is a Deva flower, very big flower, like the very big cup, very big cup or very big plates like this, making like umbrella, or put the stick and the flower. Then they also use the flower like umbrella. Then taking this flower, he also he also came to the Venerable Kassava's place from the Kusinara. At that time, Venerable Mahakassava saw the monks from other religions, Ajivaka. Then the Venerable Kassava asked this Ajivaka, do you know our Buddhas? Then the Ajivaka also answered, yes, I know your teachers, Gautama Buddha. He passed away, he has passed away since 7 days ago. Or he also answers. In this case, commentary explained a lot, you know. Why Venerable Kassapa asked these questions to the Ajivaka? With knowing or without knowing? Venerable Mahakassapa, Venerable Mahakassapa knows the Buddha's taken final Parinibbāna or not? They answer. Then Sandija says, Venerable Kassapa didn't know the Buddha's final Parinibbāna. The Buddha already took his final Parinibbāna. Why? Venerable Kassapa used to enter into Samapatti most of the times. Even he entered into the village or cities for unspooled. Before taking unspooled from devotees' hands, then he entered into Samapatti. Why? For the benefit of the devotees. Then emerging from Samapatti, then he received the donation from the devotee. Then it will be beneficial for the donor. He used to enter into Samapatti most of the time. Even he don't associate with many people. Is it? Because of this reason, then Venerable Mahakassapa may not reflect on the Buddha's final Parinibbāna. He used to stay in his attainment. That is why Venerable Kassapa didn't know the Buddha's final Parinibbāna. That means Venerable Kassapa thought the Buddha is still alive, etc. Is it? This is one Sun teacher's idea. Even Arahanta also does not know if they don't reflect, although they have the psychic powers, no? The reading others' mind or any other abhiññāna. But if they don't reflect on something, but they don't know. In the same way here, Venerable Kassapa used to stay in Phala-samapatti most of the time. He didn't reflect the Buddha's final Parinibbāna. That is why Venerable Kassapa did not know the Buddha's taken final Parinibbāna. Some teachers says in this way, but the commentary rejected this teacher's idea. We should not think in this way. Then, the sure Venerable Kassapa probably know the Buddha's taken final Parinibbāna. If he knows the Buddha's final Parinibbāna, why he asked these questions to the Ajivaka? Then, briefly, there are many of Venerable Kassapa's disciples here, about 500 bhikkhu. Although they are bhikkhu, some bhikkhu have never seen the Buddhas before. That is why they have very strong desires to see the Buddha. But some, they have seen the Buddhas before. They also wish to see the Buddhas. They also wish to see the Buddha. Because of this reason, they are coming to the Buddha's place. Then by asking the Ajivaka, then Ajivaka answered the Buddha took his final Parinibbāna since 7 days ago. Then all bhikkhu of Venerable Mahakassapa's disciple knows. Then what will happen? Then they were crying out a lot. If they are Sati, Puddhojana and Sotapanna Sagadagami persons, they were crying out. Then it is very ugly. It will be very ugly. Is it? It will be very ugly. Then when, for example, the Venerable Kassapa didn't ask the Ajivaka, the Buddha's final Prinibbāna, about the Buddha's final Prinibbāna, what will happen? Then they immediately know the Buddha already attained his final Prinibbāna and there near the Buddha's dead body. At that time, what will happen? There were also a lot of people around the Buddha's dead body. Then when they know the Buddha's final Prinibbāna, then they were also crying out a lot. Some what will happen? They will fall down on the ground. Even they will take out their clothes. They will wear only one robe. Even sometimes they will not wear any robe. Why? They will not have their normal mind. Their mind will be abnormal at the time. Abnormal means especially for Buddhojana, no? Buddhojana Bhikkhu, among these 500s. Then at that time it will be very ugly. Then other people also will criticize. The Buddha took his final Prinibbāna. Because of this reason, we feel limited. We feel very. We are very sad. We are also crying out, but nobody encouraged us not to cry. Even Bhikkhu Sangha also crying. In this way, they were criticized. Venerable Kassapa and many Bhikkhu Sangha. Is it? But if Puthujana Bhikkhu, Sotapanna and Sagadagami Bhikkhu knows the Buddha's passing away early, before reaching the Buddha's final Prinibbāna place, then what will happen? Oh, sure, they also cry out a lot. The same way, as soon as they have the news of the Buddha's attainment of final Prinibbāna, then Puthujana Bhikkhu, Sotapanna and Sagadagami also cry out. But this is a quiet place, only in the forest. There were no people around this area. That is when they cry out themselves. Oh, is it? Then it is not so ugly. It is not so ugly. Then because of this reason, Venerable Mahākassapa asked this Ajivaka about the Buddha's attainment of final Prinibbāna. This is the explanations and commentary. Briefly, is it? Then explanation and commentary. Then sure, according to the commentary explanation, when they had the Buddha's attainment of final Prinibbāna, then Puthujana Bhikkhu, Sotapanna and Sagadagami also crying out a lot in this forest. Yeah. One thing, when many Bhikkhu are crying out when they have about the attainment of the Buddha's final Prinibbāna. At that time, what happened? What happened me? One, Subhata Uddapapajita Bhikkhu. There was also one Bhikkhu who ordained in his old age. He immediately said, Allah also ma so chaita ma priti waita. Oh, also, don't worry, don't cry out. This is Sumudda Mayantina Mahasamanina. We are free from Gautama Buddha. Ubadudasa Homa Idan Wakabadi. Then he tortured us a lot when he was alive. Idan Wakabadi, Idan Wanakabadi. This is suitable for you, you should do. This is not suitable for you, you should not do. In this way, he tortured us a lot. Idanipana Mayan Yan Echesama Dan Karisama. Now, according to our desire, we wish to do something, we will do. We don't want to do something, we don't need to do. Dana Karisama. What he said in this way. When they are crying out regarding attainment of the Buddha's final Prinibbāna, at that time, he was not crying. Then what will happen? He says to the other bhikkhu, don't cry, don't worry, don't be sad. We are free from Mahasamana. When he was alive, he taught us a lot. You should not do this, you should do this. Although we don't want to do, we are afraid of him. That is why we need to follow his instruction in this way, is it? But now we are free from Mahasamana. We can do whatever we want to do. We don't need to do whatever we don't want to do. Or in this way, he says to other bhikkhu, not like Venerable Kassapa. Is it? But Venerable Kassapa says, Sabbe Sankhara Anicca, all conditionals, formations are impermanent. Nobody can exist forever after arising. Sure, it will perish. Even the Buddha also cannot avoid the passing away, etc. Then Venerable Kassapa encouraged the bhikkhus who are crying. But Subhadda bhikkhu, who ordained in his old age, he said differently. Why he says in this way? Why he is happy with the Buddha's taking final Parinibbāna? Then okay. Then we will explain the reason and the story in next talk. Now already about 1 hour. Then we will start our Dhamma discussions for today. Then by knowing the Buddha's attainment of final Parinibbāna, then may be able to feel the sense of urgency, samvega. Even the Buddha also passed away. We are ordinary person, we are normal person compared to the Buddha or Arahanta, etc. Is it? How there's no words to describe for us. Sure, we will pass away, we will die one day. Then you should also feel the sense of urgency by listening to these stanza recite chanted by Sahampati Brahma, Saka, Anuruddha, and Venerable Ananda. Then you should also recite this stanza and reflect on the meaning of those stanza. Then you will feel sense of urgency. Then you will also practice samatha and vipassana meditation to escape from the death. May you be able to attain nibbana, amata, deathlessness. May you be able to attain nibbana as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Sayadaw, very much for your teachings today. We have about 20 some minutes left. May we open the floor for questions, please? Okay, you can submit your questions to Zoom's Q&A. And here is some reminders for questions. Well, besides submitting the to Zoom's chat room or Q&A, please try to be relevant to today's topic and state your questions as clearly and concisely as possible. Also, please try to accommodate general parijati and patipati questions. Organizer will respond to all questions with the time available. The unanswered questions will be answered in the coming teaching. So let's start on our first questions. Hi, Sayadaw. Can you explain what the meaning of life? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
What's the meaning of life? Okay, life. There may be many different meanings, but life is bhava, existence. Existence also. Then life, bhava is in Pali, bhava. Bhava meaning arising. Okay, arising. For example, now you are a human being. You become a human being. Then you are alive or you are in human's life, etc. Then some beings become animals. they are also arising as animal. They become as animal, etc. They are animal life. We are human life. They are deva life in this way. Okay. Manusa bhava, deva bhava, tirachana bhava, etc. Then life. Jivitendriya also refers to life. Jivitendriya is life. For example, you are human being. You are still alive. You are still alive because of Jivitendriya, life faculty. But if no life faculty, both Rupa and Nama life faculty, then you die, you pass away. Then no more alive. No more alive. The other being also the same. Deva also the same. If there's no life faculty and the persons, then they die. That is when they are only dead body, no life faculty. Okay, and the meaning of life is in Pali bhava or existence.
And the next question, dear Sayadaw, last time you said that the Buddha said his teachings should only be given to Pali, but not Sanskrit. Can you tell me where that is mentioned in the Tipikata?
And Tipitaka. Sure, in this to make sure then the reference or quotations with the text and page number I need to find. Okay, I need to find, have many places, even in the if maybe you may need the what the Buddha says, is it? What the Buddha says in Gautara Nikaya also, but the Sutta name, I forget the Sutta name. And also in other places, maybe there will be Athakata or commentary. Even in Bhaddha Rupa Seti, the Pali Karma, it says, the Buddha says the Buddha's teaching in Pali, not in Sanskrit. Magadha Bhasaya, okay? You can find, for example, only one Magadha Bhasaya. In Pali is a Magadha Bhasa. So the Buddha will say Magadha Bhasaya. If you find in the Tipitaka, find type in Magadha Bhasaya, it will appear. Then you can find yourself also.
Bantame Sayadaw, how does the Buddha enter jhana by taking 24 or 13 objects at the same time?
So, okay. How does the Buddha enter jhanas? By taking 24 or 30 objects at the same time. Not 30 objects, actually, this one. For example, it does not mention in commentary. For example, by taking Asubha corpse, Asubha objects, the can enter into the first jhana. In the same way, taking the kasina object, 32% the body object, anapana object, the metta guna mudita being objects, they everybody Buddha can enter into the first jhana. So the first jhana means Pratama jhana samappaji, Pratama jhana vodhetva dutiya jhana samappaji. That means the Buddha enter into the first jhana means not only taking anapana objects or not only taking the kasina objects, taking many different objects once a time, not within one time. Okay, then all the first jhana taking any meditation objects, the Buddha enter into the first jhana. Second jhana, third jhana also the same way. Accordingly means some meditation subject, some meditation objects can only be attained up to the first jhana state, not higher jhana. At that time, Buddha will enter into the first jhana, only taking these kinds of meditation object. But the other, for example, second jhana taking the meditation objects can attain up to the second jhana or third jhana. Then the Buddha also will enter into the second jhana, or third jhana taking those meditation objects. Oh, this one is accordingly, not all. One at a time, not only at the same time. But the Buddha is very powerful and very skillful, always stay with the Samapatti. That is why can enter into those jhana taking different objects within short times. Even, for example, those who are practicing 14 ways here, then within a glance of mind, within short times, they can enter into many different jhana, taking many different objects. Patui, Abo, Tejo, Vayo, Nila, Pita, Loita, Odada, Kasina, for example, 8 Kasina. Taking Patui Kasina, Patibaganimita objects, they can enter into the first jhana. Then, in the same way, they can also enter into the first jhana, taking the other different Kasina objects within short time. The second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana also the same way. If you understand the practice of 14 ways, then you will also understand what the Buddha means.
But Sayadaw, when we make dana, if we choose to only dana to the senior respectable monks, the large and famous meditation centers, if we choose to dana to whether the need is the greatest, which are often younger monks and not so famous meditation centers, and rejoicing others' dana to the famous monks and center, which of these two is more beneficial for accumulating parami?
This one depends on the donor's desire. Okay, then if you wish to obtain the benefit from the donations, offerings, then there must be 6 factors. The 6 factors mean you have the 3 kinds of chetana, volitionless formations. Volitionless formation, Pubbā chetana, before offering the requests to the Sangha or anyone. Then you have intention, volitions, okay, volitions before offering. When you are offering the requests to the Sangha or anyone, then you also have a very strong chetana. After offering also, you reflect on the offering and you rejoice with the offering. At that time, there's also chetana. There are 3 different kinds of chetana. You have this one. Okay. Then you also offer this request to the persons. For example, they Sila Samadhi Panya. They are, for example, noble persons. But although they are not noble persons, yes, they are still practicing to become noble persons, to attain Nibbana, etc. Is it? Kilesa, for example, they practice to destroy the Kilesa. Some they have already practiced to destroy the Kilesa. Then at that time, this is the factors from the receiver. Receiver, is it? Depends on the condition. The condition you want to obtain the benefit or not. For example, according to your questions, so receiver has the Sila Samadhi Panya or Sila Samadhi Panya, then these donations will produce great benefits for the donor. But one thing, although they are not famous, the young monks, they have the Sila Samadhi Panya or not. But they need the requests for the learning of priyati and the practices of meditation. Okay, you also offer the requests to those kinds of persons. okay, this is also good. This is also good, no problem. But if you see your benefit, then what should you do? Then you should choose the receiver who have Sila Samadhi Penya, especially Sila Samadhi Penya, is it? Sila Samadhi Penya, then you can obtain the great benefit. Because of this reason, okay, son choose such kinds of persons only. Such kinds of person only. But by offering the other person, although they are not famous, they are young man, if they have Sila Samadhi Penya, no problem, sure, you can obtain the great benefit. Although they are old bhikkhu, although they are famous bhikkhu, famous center, but they have no Sila Samadhi Penya, the receiver don't have Sila Samadhi Penya, then it will not produce the great benefits. Depends on the donor and receiver. Then donor and receiver's Sila Samadhi Penya. Is it? Okay. Dekina Vibhanga Sutta. According to this one, according to Dekina Vibhanga Sutta, then briefly, you also have the Saddha, Sila Samadhi Penya, then receiver also have Sila Samadhi Penya. This kinds of donation is the best. But only once I have Sila, once I don't have Sila, then it may produce part of the donation, not full, like this. Okay, then depends on the both sides. Donor's intention is to be famous or only just to accumulate kusala. Then depends on the donor's intention. Receiver also the same, they have Sila Samadhi Penya or not. In this way, okay?
Vendame Sayadaw Sukihantu, good morning. Please, Sayadaw, advise again what kind of Bhavanga when Buddha into Parinibbāna. Sayadaw, thank you very much with sincerity. Supriyati.
Wandami Sarah Suki Hotu, good morning. Please share your advice against what kinds of Bhavanga when Buddha enter into Parinibbāna. Sarah, thank you very much with sincerity. What kinds of Bhavanga mean? You know, usually after when, for example, someone is entering into jhana, then jhana viti, the process of jhana is arising. This is called viti, not viti mota, not Bhavanga. Okay. After this jhana, then emergence from jhana, as soon as they emerge from jhana, then Bhavanga arise. A kinds of Bhavanga arise. Okay, this is a Bhavanga Chaita. Bhavanga Chaita is a continuity. If there's a no Viti Chaita is arising. If there's a no Viti Chaita arising, then Bhavanga Chaita is arising. Then, when the Buddha reflect on the jhana factor, at that time, Pichavakana Javana, reviewing process is arising. After reflecting on the jhana factor, at the end of this Viti, then Bhavanga Chaita arises. Or as soon as Bhavanga Chaita arises, immediately the Buddha took final Parinibbāna with the Juti Chaita. Then depends on times, the Bhavanga Chaitas become Juti Chaita. Name only different, Patisandhi Chaita also the same. Bhavanga Chaita also the same, Juti Chaita also the same. This is also called Viti Mota Chaita in other words. Okay, what kinds of Bhavanga Chaita mean? This Bhavanga Chaita, okay? Bhavanga Chaita mean exactly the Buddha take his Patisandhi with the Somanasa Sagata, or there are also many different ideas, no? Somanasa Sagata, Jnana Sampyuta, Asankharika Chaita. Then the Buddha also took his final Parinibbāna with this mind, the same mind. Okay. Vipaka Citta, Mahāvipaka Citta.
I think these are all the questions we have. Do we have, is that all for today? Oh, there are a couple more questions.
I think, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it? That's all the questions today?
Oh,
I thought
no,
I saw more questions.
I think the question is just
doesn't
coming up.
Yes.
Yeah.
The aspirations, okay? Share a marriage. Huh?
Okay, should
No,
we start now?
Sadhu, sorry, the question just coming in.
Oh, what?
There, yeah, two more questions.
Oh, that's difficult to find. Dakshina.
顶礼悉阿多，请问佛陀入灭前进入的有分心目标所缘是什么？查比仪式是否是古印度婆罗门教的传统仪式？是大吉，萨度萨度萨度。
Okay, the first one. Parinibbāna. Bhavanga Citta is according to the Santi Mahāparinibbāna. You see just now in the stanza, Santi Mahāparinibbāna. Then taken Parinibbāna as taken Nibbāna as objects. Sorry. Bhavanga, no? Bhavanga Citta. There may be the same, the objects of the Patisanti Citta or the Buddha. Okay. What is the objects of Patisanti Citta? Maha Kusala Jnana Samyutta Asankharika Mahāvipaka Jnana Samyutta Asankharika Citta. That time the Buddha have the Mahakaruna. Then take the being as objects to be Karuna Citta, is it? Then Bhavanga Citta also will be the same. Eh? India, Brahmins or cremations or the Buddha's dead body, like the but the text mentioned is not Brahmins according to the Chakravarti. Chakravarti's cremations, the same like Chakravarti's cremations. When before taking Parinibbāna, the Venerable Ananda asked the Buddhas how to make the funeral of the Buddha's dead body. Then he already answers how to make like the Chakravarti's dead body. Then they wrap the Buddha Chakravarti's or the Buddha's dead body with the new clothes for 100 times, 1000 times in this way. After that, put the oil and burn the Buddha's body, Chakravarti's body. Then what will happen? Then the relics will remain. Then build the Jitiya or stupa, put the relics in this Jitiya at the junction area. Then those who respect to the Buddha's Jitiya or Chakravati Jitiya, because of this devotional mind, then they can be reborn in Devaram because of their Sutta towards the Jitiya, etc.
We only have 2 minutes left. This will be our last question. Please, Sayadaw, advise when some people do offering dana and saying sangasa, dema, and sangha dana.
No.
I don't know how that this means. Some meaning or no?
Okay. Dana. What they want to say? Or Sangha Dana, Sangasa Dema, or Sangha Dana. Sangha Dana means they use the, for example, will go and offer the rope or sentence to the Sangha, or this is called Sangha Dana ceremony, etc. Sangha Dana ceremony, offering ceremony, etc. Sangasa Dema is okay. That someone offers sentence to the Sangha, then they also recite Sangasa Dema. Then we offer this requisites to the Sangha like this. Sangasa Dema. Then Sangha Dana means the name of the donation ceremony, something like this. Can use donation, Sangha Dana. This is the name only. But when they recite, the Sangasa Dema is okay. Not Sangha Dana.
Thank you for all the questions. May Sayadaw lead us in making aspiration and sharing merits, please. Sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. Then the for the Dana, regarding the Dana, then I will read some suttas to make sure. Then I will answer later. Okay.
Okay.
If I have time, if I don't forget, then repeat after me to share your merits to all beings. Idame Punya,
Idame Punyan,
Sawakaya,
Sawakaya,
Vahang Hodu,
Bahang Hodu,
Idame Punya,
Idame Punyan,
Ibanasa,
Ibanasa,
Pichayo Hodu,
Achayo Hodu,
Mama Punya Bagan,
Mama Punyan Bagam,
Tabasadana,
Tabasadana,
Ajemi,
Ajemi,
Esabe,
Esabe,
Esama,
Esaman,
Punya Bagan,
Punyan Bagam,
Labandu,
Tabantu.
Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu.
Thank you again very much for Sayadaw's teaching and Bande's interpretation. Please feel free to leave Zoom at your convenience. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.